Welcome to another exciting episode of In Conversation with Alethia. I'm your host, Alethia O'Hara Stephenson. In each episode, I sit down with incredible individuals from our communities who are doing amazing things. The show will educate, it will empower, and it will inspire you. On this episode, I am honored to have two incredible guests. We have Deputy Mayor Barbara Dobreen from Southgate. She is a multiple term elected official. She also serves on the board of directors for Elect Her Now. And she aims to inspire young people, especially our women, to get involved in politics. Up next, we have the incredibly talented Councillor Joan, again from Southgate, who is the founder and president of Junction Community Initiatives, another organization that aims to inspire and get our young people involved, and especially, again, our women. Joan is passionate about education. Welcome to In Conversation with Alethia, Councillor Joan and Deputy Mayor Barbara Dobreen.
Thank you, Alethia. It's Barbara. Thank you. And it's such a pleasure to be here.
Amazing. It's an honor. And Joan, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's my honor. And honestly, I have to give credit where credit is due. It is not easy to be a deputy mayor. And yes, I know I will call you Barbara for the duration of the show. But it's absolutely important because you have had to work hard to be elected as deputy mayor. It's not something that was handed to you. Councillor Joan, likewise, you've had to work hard, knock on doors, have conversation with your community members to be in this position. So it is my honor to bestow the title that you so deserved as councillor and deputy mayor. So now that we've had the formalities out of the way, let us have some fun.
That's good. That's
amazing.
Great.
So I did your formal bio, and I would love to start with you, Barbara, just to hear a little about who Barbara is. So you've got the illustrious title as Deputy Mayor. I'm sure you're a wife, you're a community leader. Tell us a little bit more about Barbara.
Thank you. What to say about myself is that my entire career prior to moving to Southgate and prior to becoming on council has been building community, whether that is in my work environment or in my community where I live, my neighborhood, on team sports, in uplifting others and getting involved just to make a difference.
I love that.
Yes, I am married. I live in the middle of Southgate on a managed forest.
Wow.
And just like living in the country, and discovering our rural roots.
Okay, I love that. And Joan, tell us a little bit more about you.
Oh my goodness, a little bit more about Joan. I am a first-time councillor.
Congratulations.
And also the first Black woman to be elected in Grey Bruce Owen Sound, which is just an honor. So that's great news, history making.
Amazing.
And I have two grown children. My day job is a social development consultant where I work with people who are coming out of the justice system, and we help to rehabilitate them, to get them jobs, to get them back into their own apartment and to be able to start their lives over. That is very fulfilling for me. Working with them advanced me more into working with the community because I found out that coming into the halfway house for 2 weeks and then just putting them back into the community wasn't working. We were getting a lot of people coming back into the system, and I went to my manager about it and it wouldn't happen. So I started my own community network group where we would have more training and doing more things for these people, and that's what led me more into community. Okay. But even from a little girl growing up in Jamaica, I was for my community because my aim was to follow all those things in the Series magazine, get to Canada and go back to help my community, which I still do. So.
That's amazing. And I love that because this is not the first time you've mentioned the Sears catalog. And how many of us can remember looking at the Sears catalog and selecting, I want this dress, I want this shoe, I want this dresser. So it's funny that you're able to share the highlights from your childhood and dreaming and talking about dreams. Here you are today as the first Black woman on council in Southgate. not just the first Black woman, but the first Black person on council. So that is history making in itself. So kudos to you and your community for electing you. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Now, since you touched on that, I want to talk about the partnership and the collaboration that both of you have had in just being there for your community. What has that been like? And I'm going to lean towards you, Barbara, for that first question. Just that collaboration and being there to support each other for the growth and the betterment and development of your entire community.
Thank you. And for those who aren't aware, we have the fastest growing community in Grey County. And a lot of people are moving up from the GTA area and still commuting. I met Joan prior to her becoming a member on council. She walked through the door of the library board and was introducing herself as she did today and talking about Junction Community Initiatives. I was on the board at the time. And her struggles to find a place to run these programs. The initiative of Junction Community Initiatives, the JCI and the programs, and her dream of bridging that gap between the new growth and the existing community. And I knew that we needed to be involved and work together. So throughout those couple of years, through COVID no less, JCI got its footing through the support of staff and through council, and just showing up to her programs, to brainstorming on how we can make this work, how we can bring these programs through COVID, because we weren't allowed to meet, as everyone is aware. We couldn't get together. So I think the collaboration started immediately. And has continued on through a great deal of respect and mutual desire to make a difference, because we both see the need in our community.
I love that. And transitioning to you, Joan, what are some examples of the early initiatives that you've been able to work on, or lead, I should say, as head of JCI?
Well, as Barbara put it very nicely and easy, how we got off into it and the programs that we have done so far. Barbara has been such a source of inspiration, and also just fine-tuning and we arranging and putting things together. I will come up with all the big, bright ideas, some of which are not even attainable. And then I would say, oh, we can't do this. And she would come back with her very analytical skills and say, Joan, let's talk about this. Let's look at this area and that area, how we're going to execute that. What are we going to do about this part, and how we're going to get this into here? Are we going to get people to come out? Who we're going to get to talk about these things? And as much as she's always there for me, I am pushing her in the front, and she's like, I am not JCI. I want to be there to help the community. I want to get the community involved. I want you to meet the old people, and I also want you to bring the new people together. But I will stay focused in the back and let this happen. She is just so selfishly helping out and doing everything. And that's what makes us work so good together. And we respect each other, we respect our personal spaces, and we respect everything about what we do, and we do it with integrity. And that's what makes it work. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think the difference, though, Alethia, is that I'm the one who'd rather be in the background, and Joan ends up in the kitchen in her gown. So we tag team, we pick up where the other leaves off, and I think that we complement each other through the ideas and being able to navigate what is real in Southgate, what resources we have at our disposal, which in the beginning Joan really wasn't as familiar with as myself. So
That's
it
brilliant.
was building off each other.
I love that, and it's a nice compliment. And you know what's jumping out at me is the African proverb: if you want to go somewhere fast, you can do it alone. But if you want to take the journey longer, then you work with someone. So this partnership is absolutely amazing. And it sounds like it has been fruitful so far. You've touched on some of your community initiatives. I want to touch on a little bit about some of the challenges that you're trying to tackle together at the community level in your area. You're smiling, Joan, so I'm going to hand that one right to you.
Oh, good.
And I think you've touched on it a little bit. You know, you've talked about the fastest growing community, you know, the newness of residents that are coming in and marrying the two between, you know, existing residents that have been in Southgate for ages or maybe even generations.
Yeah. Well, a part of that we would talk about recreation. Okay. A lot of people are coming from the GTA, different areas where we have all different kinds of recreation that they could do. Some didn't do due diligence and they want everything that they have in Brampton or Mississauga, they want it in the little township of Southgate, which is not there. We have housing issue, the high price of rent, and some of those stuff that we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. We try our best to accommodate, and in terms of JCI, we try to do programs that we know that they might be interested in. And also I will go out and say, well, come to the country dance with me, come learn to line dance, because you're not going to get a reggae party here, or come to the Agricultural Society Fair where we have animal petting, or you get to hula hoop, or just do something different in a different setting, mm-hmm. and that will help with some of the, but yes, of course, there are the crucial issues again. Homelessness is becoming a problem.
Right.
The recreation, and of course, with a growing community comes unexpected results and some things that we might not like. It's not always going to be nice and hunky-dory. There's going to be Absolutely. Personal issues and other people's feelings. So all those things we have to navigate and just try to work through it. And we do our best at it. Right, Barb?
We're working on it.
Yeah, and that goes with any community, right? So,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think to the recreation side of things, we have a tremendous staff at the Township of Southgate, especially in our recreation department, who have been so responsive to new residents coming in, even older residents mm-hmm. who want to start pickleball. That's all the rage. Okay. So we have new residents who are coming in and they want to play basketball or soccer or cricket.
Nice.
Our recreation department, our programming, Ethan is tremendous, so is, well, all of them are tremendous,
yes.
but the programs that they have implemented in the last 2 years have been in response to the growing community.
That's brilliant.
And bringing what they need or what might interest them. We have a rock climbing wall in a newly renovated upstairs of the arena, pick up basketball, soccer program. We're going to have a temporary cricket pitch this summer.
I love that.
Partnering with Shelburne and our neighboring communities to bring these together.
Amazing. You know what? We're going to pick up the conversation because I think this conversation can go on for another 10 minutes.
Oh, so. It sure can. It sure can.
Amazing. So we are going to pick up the conversation with Barbara and Joan when we return after this short break. Thank you for joining us. See you shortly. Welcome back to In Conversation with Alethia. I am here again in the studio with Barbara Dobreen and Joan John. And we're going to pick up the conversation back with you, Barbara, talking about some of the community support services that you have in the county.
Thank you. As Deputy Mayor, I have the appointment to the Grey County Council. The Mayor and Deputy Mayor
Amazing.
Sit there at the Horseshoe. And what I've learned in the last year and a half is the community services that the county delivers versus the infrastructure and the recreation that the local municipality delivers. And I can say that the issues that we are facing in Southgate and Grey County are the same issues as other municipalities in Ontario and across Canada: housing, homelessness, mental health, and addiction. And what Grey County is doing at that level through the social services, the SOS program, the innovative housing with wraparound services, so that we can help people change their trajectory.
Okay.
And I'm really proud of the work that the county has done in the last little while. So my concern about the marrying the new with the old and the recreation side of things, we have a lot of people who've moved to our community but are still working in the GTA.
Okay.
So they're commuting and they're gone early in the morning and they're getting home late at night.
Right.
So they don't have a lot of time to spare during the week to get involved. But we're hoping that through Joan's initiatives and our collaboration and providing opportunities for people to come together, that they will see that there's so much opportunity in Southgate and Grey County.
That's brilliant.
Just to,
Yes.
to participate here at home. We couldn't keep up with the events that were held in the last 2 weekends,
Oh, wow.
which was really exciting.
Okay, that's amazing. And I'm sure some of those events would have included Canada Day celebrations as well.
Yes, yes, we had a great Canada Day celebration.
Amazing. And, since you touched on volunteerism, that's a nice segue into talking about some of the opportunities that exist, with volunteering and why it's important. I'm going to start with you, Joan, because I know you have a really good answer, as well as you, Barbara.
Well, volunteering is very, very important. And if you're out to volunteer, just make sure that you're volunteering because you want to. You have to be not selfish about being a volunteer. And sometimes it's just the wonderful things that you do as a volunteer, like going into somebody's home just to sit and talk to them. They're expecting nothing. They just need somebody to lean on, somebody to talk to. And when you go out and volunteer, you make life so much easier, because all the programs that can be offered, we need volunteers to help to get these programs together, to put these programs out there. Like, we had a great Canada Day and we had like 15 volunteers, which was, and it's from everybody, every nationality that you can think of comes out to the junction to volunteer. And they're asking, what should I do? What should I not do? And we make people so happy by being there, serving them, creating a very festive atmosphere where everybody could dance and come together and do things. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, what kind of volunteering services it is. Just if you have some time on your hand, go out and volunteer to any community organization that is available in your community.
I love that. And that's what community is all about, right? When you're talking about the 15 different individuals that were represented at that event over the past weekend, it's powerful. And it reminds me going back to Jamaica, and I'm sure the same for you when you think of family, Barbara. It's about the community. It's everyone coming together to help out your neighbor, your friend. It didn't matter your background, your history, right? It's everyone coming together, contributing, and doing something for the greater good. So I love that.
I'll just add a little bit to that, Barb, that Alethia mentioned about Jamaica and volunteering. When we go home, all the older people in the area know that you're there. They're coming to your house. You don't have to cook, you don't have to clean, you don't have to we sit outside, roast bread, fruit, this, that, everything that you can think of, and they're there for the entire time until you leave.
That is so true. That is so true. Now you have me thinking about roast bread fruit, and okay, that's for another conversation.
Well, she'll have to introduce me to that.
Okay, Joan. Okay, so you've done a disservice. You need to introduce Barbara to some roast bread fruit.
I will.
I hope you've at least had plantains. So.
Oh yes, I have. That I've had. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. So just picking up the conversation from your perspective on the impact of volunteerism.
I want to express a comment that our mayor made some time ago, probably as he's also the warden of Grey County, but it was about the fact that we were delegating to the province at one of the conferences, and it was, we can build houses, we can put sticks in the ground, and we can build roads, and we can do water and wastewater, but without the services, and especially without the volunteers that make a community a home, we are nothing. And I have found through my time in Southgate, more so than in the big city, that we would have nothing, none of these events, the rodeo, Maple Fest, the agricultural fall fair, Hopeville Kite Festival, none of these would be possible if it wasn't for the grassroots volunteers that put them on. They are the ones who seek funding. They're the ones who are out there putting up the booths and fixing things and buying pancake mix. And it's just incredible to see the number of volunteers that come out to support the community and make it fun.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you to all of the amazing volunteers out there. So kudos for coming together as a community.
Yeah. And it's really fun and it feels good.
Okay, next event. Make sure I'm on the invite list.
Absolutely. Well, you're always invited, Alethia.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. I want to touch on Elect Her Now, because you're both part of that organization. Can you share, I'm going to go with you for a second, Barbara. Can you share a little bit about Elect Her Now and what that organization is all about?
Sure can. Elect Her was founded by two individuals, and back in 2019. And I was invited partway through the initial organization of Elect Her Now, the launch of it, as an advisor, someone who's already on council who can provide input from other members of council on resources and workshops that people might benefit from to help them make a decision to run for council, women particularly, but people of all diversity. And those resources and workshops would be free and available to all. It would help them make the decision to run, support them in their first year of council, because as we've learned through the years, it can be pretty lonely at times. And there is a lot to learn. So if we can help them navigate some of those challenges, that's what we're there for. We've had some amazing guests and speakers to talk about the role of mayor, deputy mayor, councillor, the time commitment, where to look for information, how to campaign, how to do social media. Joan has hosted a number of things. The most recent one was this how to
find your balance.
How you find your balance this past spring. So it's about, and there's many volunteers in this organization. What is really neat about Elect Her Now is that they've been invited to the Association of AMO, Association of Municipalities of Ontario Healthy Democracy Project. And so they have representation at that table to create diversity of all aspects, not just women, but that is the primary goal, to get more women at the municipal table, because they bring a different perspective to the conversation.
Okay, I love that. And I'm going to segue over to you, Joan, because you touched on something very important, and it's about finding balance. And so let's dive right into that topic. How do you find balance?
How do I find my balance? Somebody will say that my phone rings all the time.
So support sounds like part of your balance system.
But how do I find my balance? I get up in the morning and I always start off with my to-do list, and I have a pen that I tick and go down. I do this really funny thing. When I was working with my office upstairs, my printer will be downstairs. So when I print, I walk downstairs to get it, so I'm not sitting at my computer for the entire time once I'm home.
Brilliant.
Another thing is that I do have a bedtime. and my phone tells me to go to bed. 10:48 every night, it will ring. That's my balance because my phone is always on. I turn my phone off and I go to bed, and I will tell everyone, if you're calling me after that and it's an emergency, call 911 because I'm not available. And I do get 7 to 8 hours sleep every day, but once I'm up, it's nonstop. I will work right through the day nonstop. I do everything then so I can find my balance at night. And I do watch a little TV, game show, anything to perks my brain. That's what I love to do. But I do make sure that I have a balance between personal. You know, you go over a little bit every now and then because you're not perfect, and there are some things that you really have to get done. But yeah, you definitely have to stop and find your balance.
Okay, I like that. Barbara, same question, balance.
I think you're asking the wrong person. I don't get 7 hours sleep, but it's not for lack of trying. I think when you're in municipal politics or any level of politics, you need to make sure that you have the backing at home, your family's support. You need a great network of people who are there to fill in the gap, because I would not be able to be out in the community as much as I am, attending not just the meetings, but the phone calls, the community events, which make it fun.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have my husband and my family who support me doing it and understand the importance of it.
I love that. That is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And this sounds like the most amazing and wonderful way to end our show. I can't believe that we're already at the end. But some of the nuggets that I've gleaned from both of you is just that support. And I am seeing that support living and breathing right in front of me, the support that you have for each other and making sure that you find your balance. You need to hold Barbara accountable now so she finds her balance. But more than that, it's the love and support that I'm hearing for community and how community can work together to effect change. And so thank you both for your leadership. Congratulations again, Joan, on being the first and hopefully not the last. And again, for your leadership and support every step of the way. So thank you for being on In Conversation with Alethia. It has been a blast.
Well, thank you for having us. It was great. And yes, you're correct. We do have our love and our support. We don't always agree on everything.
That's okay.
And that's what makes it so good, because we work through it. But we do have the love and respect for each other, and we work well together.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you. This has been a great opportunity to talk about our community and the importance of volunteerism. It's near and dear to both our hearts. And thank you, Alethia. I can't believe the time is up.
I know. Thank you so much. This has been another incredible episode of In Conversation with Alethia. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back.
Absolutely.